Let's go, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's show. We've got a line.
Boom, 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 boom. What up, people? What up? 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 How you doing? Hello, my name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black's Black Table. It's Sunday, 7 p.m.ish, and we're back to do this once again. Yes, we are. Hello, 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 hello. Hope we are live on Facebook and live on YouTube. Got my people in the house. Share this out. Let people know that you're here. Show your love. Give me the energy. Give me the energy. Give me the energy, Johnson. Of course, I'm your humble host, participating in this, guiding this thing called the Black Table, Tim Black's Black Table. Shout out to my brother, Dr. Carr out there. And yeah, we're doing what we do, people. We're doing what we do. Out of mutual love and respect, don't forget to check out the other Black Table by Dr. Carr on the Black Star Network. Dr. Carr does good work. No disrespect, no shade to that brother. So we are out here doing our thing on a Sunday, but of course, I'm not by myself. I'm not alone, thank goodness. I'd be totally disagreeable if I were, but I have my ace in the hole, my friend, my partner, my better half, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about Mrs. Black. Mrs. Black, what's up, sister?
Hello. Welcome, everyone, to Tim Black's Black Table. So great to have you this evening. Happy birthday to anyone who's had a birthday today, this weekend, last week, or looking forward to one this week. We wish you well. This is episode number 18. If you're just joining us, please be sure to hit that thumbs up on your way in. Share tonight's content. Let's grow this channel because this is good stuff that we're reporting on. And engage with the Wolfpack community. Those who have been here for a while and you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button or become a Wolfpack member by going to jointimblack.com.
.com, that'll work.
Jointimblack.com. Thank you so much again for being here. Our topics for this evening include Ice Cube interview with Tucker Carlson. We're going to continue our conversation about that. DeSantis, Florida, and his Board of Education on Black history. And just hilarious, cis women versus trans women debate. Mm-hmm. Thank you again. Let's go. Let's
get it. Give it up for that. That was on point. Man, I love when she does it that way. That's what I'm talking about. Jumping in and just swinging for the fences, man. Thank you, Mrs. Black, for what you do. And we got some stuff to talk about, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. I feel like I'm on a roll lately. I'm on a roll, and I think it's because I'm leaning into this idea that, you ain't for everybody, it's okay, and everybody ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay if everybody don't like it. It's okay. In fact, if everybody likes you, that means you're really not standing up for nobody. Because if you stand up for people, other people are going to get alienated and pissed off. Now, what we hope is that the people that we stand up for, the issues that we do champion, we create an audience from that. So it takes a lot of stepping out on faith, y'all. So, Mrs. Black, Ice Cube, as you know, he did his interview. He went on the Tucker Carlson show, and people are frankly pretty pissed off. But you know what? Let me push back on that narrative. Not everybody's pissed off. In fact, I got a feeling more people are either indifferent, don't know about it. Yeah, okay, let's go there. A lot of people don't even know anything about this interview. They don't even know it took place. They have the faintest idea Ice Cube went on the Tucker Carlson show. That's most people. And I'm talking about most people in America. Forget the world, because we know most of the world could care less about what happens on X or Twitter. So the whole framing, right, because half of the gaslighting about this interview was that it's so bad and it normalizes Tucker Carlson. Ice Cube gave a platform to one of the most horrific people on the planet, Tucker Carlson. See how that's crazy? Because Tucker Carlson's already very famous. Every piece of content he puts out does 5 million views or better. But to them, Ice Cube going on is the one whose platform and Tucker don't even make damn sense. No, it's the other way. Tucker platform Ice Cube because Ice Cube has grievances and Ice Cube can't just go everywhere and talk about them because, hence the gatekeeper comments. He was saying, hey, they're not letting me go on a lot of programs. They're not letting me get access to media because they didn't like the fact I didn't get the jab. And they didn't like the fact that I put out a contract with Black America at a bad time for Joe Biden to ignore black people again. So based on that, people were like, oh no, we can't have Q back. So Q was very vocal about the reason why, before he went on any platforms, folks, those in media, I don't know if the general public paid attention. But before Ice Cube went on any platforms, he told everybody, he said, look, he made an announcement, hey, I got some stuff I want to talk about with the big three. What they're doing to us is not right. I'm trying to expand my sports league, the first black sports league in the history of sports. Since I guess you could say, since segregation ended. There you go. Because there was Negro leagues. So since then, okay? And the gatekeepers are not allowing me on. So I'm giving everybody notice. I'm going to be going on some different programs. I'm going to be doing my thing. I'm going to be talking to different people. Now, all of us who have an IQ above 16 knew that many was going to be going on white platforms too. Because why else would he have to announce that he's going to be going places? Because that's going to get people pissed off. No one would be mad at Ice Cube if he went on the Tim Black Show. No one would be mad at Ice Cube if he went on the Griot. No one would be mad if Ice Cube went on CNN. No one would be mad if he went on MSNBC, NPR, or anything else. Well, they might be mad if he goes on Tim Black. What I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying. They would hate if he went on there. But the point is that Ice Cube said he was going to go places. And all he knew without looking, I knew he was going to go on Joe Rogan. I knew that meant he was probably going to go on Russell Brand. I knew that meant he might do some other right-leaning type stuff. Not saying significant. I can't even really say if Joe Rogan's right-leaning or not. I don't think he is. I think he's like in the middle and he does different stuff or whatever. He chooses, based on whoever he brings on, that's how people kind of got him. But the point is this, man. Half the fallout about Ice Cube was pretty much unwarranted, man. Guy already told you what he was going to do. And Ice Cube going on Tucker does not make everyone like Tucker all of a sudden. I still don't like Tucker. I respect they had a conversation and it was civil and it seemed like they could be in each other's company and that Tucker, maybe some of Tucker's antics and some of the things he says, I don't know if it's real or not, I don't know. But he didn't appear in episode 10 to be as bad a person as I thought he was. Does that mean that I would vote for him? Does that mean I got pictures of him in my house? Does that mean I suddenly have this different view of his politics? No, it doesn't. It just means Ice Cube went on that platform and Ice Cube had a conversation. That's what it means. But what it means for Ice Cube and for the big three and for his business and his message, that means he got to talk to like 5 million more people. But if you're a part of like The View, who blacklisted Ice Cube, if you're part of like Oprah, the Oprah network, that Ice Cube was very open up front and said, these people won't let me come back on. Oprah won't let my people come on, won't let me come on their platform. And The View won't have me back. And when he goes on mainstream media like Roland Martin and others, what do? They attacked him for meeting with Trump. So the conversation's already back to him having to defend something he did 3 years ago. In fact, let me correct that. He never met with Donald Trump. He met with Trump's people. He never met with Donald Trump. He didn't go do a Steve Harvey. He had an actual contract with Black America put together by Cube's team, forward written by Dr. Derek Hamilton. With that, he presented it to both parties, and the party that got back to him was the Trump team. Okay? And then he talks about, in the Tucker interview, how that didn't turn into shit. How they basically just went back and forth a couple times, or whatever. And the same thing with Joe Biden's team. Nothing happened. So we got a lot of that out the way. Most of that's out the way now, and I really why I want to get it out the way, because Mrs. Black, I want to get to something else that I think is more important.
What is that?
what's more important is the underlining this thing where they make it seem like black people can't go wherever black people want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like they got it like we have to be we gotta be owned by the Democrats, and if we not only get attacked by liberals, white liberals, we get attacked by black conservative Democrats, or the blacks who support the Democrats. They attack black people for black people thinking they have the audacity to go wherever the hell they want to go. Does that make sense to you?
Of course not. None at all. But they're always going to have some say in something. And like you said, folks, Cube can go wherever he wants to go. That's his business. Like you said, he is advocating, his business, and platforms that are welcoming him, to be on there and to speak, Yeah. That should be, his business.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he went on, people forget he also went on Bill Maher. No one complained about him going on Bill Maher. I think Bill Maher's problematic. How many people out there think that Bill Maher's problematic and basically blowing a lot of hot air and kind of leans whatever way is more adaptive to his message at the time? That guy's a chameleon, and there's been things he said on his show that pissed me off almost as much as Tucker, but there has not been that range of pushback on the Bill Maher appearance. And what I'm saying is, it's no one's right to gatekeep or try to control the narrative or try to decide where you can and cannot go. My thing is, when you get where you going, what the hell did you say? See, they want to control our comings and goings like we are slaves. I'm not your slave. You can't control where I go. How dare you try to tell me what platform I can go? Now, if that platform don't want me, that's on that platform. But you don't get to say, how dare he go on that platform? Was it a legal platform? Is it legal? Then I didn't break any laws. Then shut up. Because you don't get to decide where a free black man or free black woman goes. Let's start talking about where you go. Oh, because it's been handpicked by people on CNN and handpicked by Hillary Clinton's crew or handpicked by Joe Biden's henchmen, that's okay? What if we got problems with about where you go? What if we don't like you going on The View? What if we don't like you going on, the Trevor Noah show to say basically a whole bunch of nothing? What about all the other podcasts you go to? The Steaming Hot Pile of Crap podcasts that are on iTunes and iHeart that are full of a bunch of 30-something white folks who don't know shit about black people and don't care to really discuss it? What about all those countless number of white podcasts? What about Megan? What's the Duchess and they got overpaid for the
Sussex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her and what's his name? Prince.
Harry.
Yeah. They're shit ass podcast. Hey, I'm offended for people that went on that podcast. That hot garbage, that overpaid extortionist garbage podcast that was somehow supposed to be noteworthy, notable, successful, that it garnered all the money that it got. For what? So I got a problem with that, but no one gives a shit. No one cares that I thought that was horrible, so I don't give a shit if you thought Cube or anybody else going anywhere else is a problem. But once again, the point is, what did you say when you got to the platform that you went to? That's what matters. You can go anywhere. And for the love of God, please let's define sellout so people know what a sellout is. I'm going to go first, Mrs. Black, and I'm going to need your help on this because I want your take on this. But I'm going to step out since it's my question. I'll start first. A sellout, in my opinion, is someone who conforms to some type of position they would not naturally or normally conform to for money. For money or access or business expansion or something that they're getting, a career opportunity. It's you gotta sell something. What the fuck did Ice Cube sell? I'm sorry. What did Ice Cube sell? What did he give away? What did he trade? What did Ice Cube say on these platforms that he wasn't saying all the time anyway? What was he saying? Point to the thing that Ice Cube said that was such a sellout thing. How did he throw black people under the bus? See, I didn't have a problem with Kanye West going on Tucker, or Kanye West going to TMZ, or Kanye West running his mouth until he said shit I felt that was disrespectful, hypocritical, and downright disgusting. See, when he did that, that's when he sold out. He didn't sell out just because he went on Tucker. He sold out when he said black people benefited from slavery or slavery, or we wanted to be slaves. Yeah, slavery, that's it. There you go. Yeah. Slavery was a choice. So my point is that thank you for that, because I'm going on one. Mrs. Black.
Yes.
What is your definition of a sellout?
Well, I think it's someone who would sell their soul, sell their mama down the river if it benefited them in some way, regardless of who it was hurting.
That's a concise explanation. I love that. Give it up for that. That's simple. And to that point, Mrs. Black, to that point, I don't think that Ice Cube's sold his soul by going on Tucker Carlson. I think he saw it as a business opportunity to expand on his message, and that's why he did it. It doesn't mean that I defend every statement made. But to the same token, I don't feel that it's fair to try to make it seem like Ice Cube has to defend everything that Tucker said. Why the hell should he have to defend what this host said on another show he had 5 years ago or 4 years ago or last month for that matter? What the hell does that got to do with Ice Cube? Now, if it would have been me, a political commentator, and the subject of police brutality came up, I would have checked Tucker for that. When Tucker was making comments about what racism is and is racism overblown, I would have had a different response than Cube, but that's because I have different experience. I have different information in here from doing a show that's race-based for 10 years. So I know things Cube don't know. Yeah, he's a great actor. He's a great entrepreneur. Obviously, he's very successful. He's a great performer. He's a great musician, a great artist, but that doesn't mean he's well-known or well-established in the areas of black issues. And that's okay, because he's still a person, and a person has opinions. He didn't go on and say, hey, I'm speaking for black people. Let me tell you, Tucker, what black people think. He's talking about his own first-person conversation. No one gives a shit where Billy Ray Cyrus goes. He's never speaking for all white people. Billy Ray Cyrus could go wherever he wants. He go wherever he wants and say anything and be wrong or right, and no one will say, look at this guy making all white people look bad. Why is he speaking? So Dolly Parton can go wherever she wants. Roseanne Barr goes wherever she wants and runs her mouth, and no one goes, oh my God, there goes Roseanne Barr speaking for white people. But for some reason, wherever black people go, no matter whatever responses they have, we get it. We are doing this. I'm not talking about what white people do. I'm saying we are doing this. We're like, oh my God, Cube said this. We need to attack him because we disagree with it. No, you disagree with it, first of all. And that's him. He ain't you. He doesn't have you. He's not you. So he's got different opinions. We have to allow black people to be themselves. We can disagree with them, but don't help white people cancel black people because you disagree with them. Let's argue with them. Let's call them out. But let's not pile on with a bunch of liberal white guys and white women who don't understand where Cube's coming from, who are really, really focused on party politics. Party politics. That's what all this is about. Democrats, what he betrayed was the Democratic Party. But if you're not a Democrat, how the hell can you betray the Democratic Party? It's impossible. If we don't go together, I can't cheat on you. And we're in the business together, I don't owe you money. And if I made no promises to you, I can't break any. So, therefore, get off his back, Mrs. Black.
I agree. All conversations that well, at least I should say the conversation that I saw between Tucker and Ice Cube was very respectful. I am not, a fan of Tucker only because of, what I've seen in the past with, his perspective on certain things on Fox. So for the two of them to get together, it seemed like, I don't know, oil and vinegar. However, Cube actually came into this arena with questions. You know, he didn't, as you mentioned, didn't come in as an authority on the Black community or Black society, and you know, he had questions about, you know, we're voting for this particular party all this time. What have they done for us? You know, what is going on? That was pretty much the thesis or his platform or where he was coming from. So for him to be on Tucker or anywhere, you know, of course I don't know him personally, but the interviews that I've seen where he's talking about his movies or his family or whatever, he's always been very respectful, always came from a point of logic, was and genuine in his stance. So, you know, him coming to Tucker or going to anyone to talk about his business ventures or what have you, again, it's his business. And if folks want him, and apparently a lot of people do want Cube on their platform, talking about, you know, whatever the issues are, then he should be able to do that, have that freedom, without so much speculation and downplay and, you know, getting kicked in the stomach or kicked in the head for whatever his views are for whatever platform he tends to go on. So,
yeah, I totally agree with that, and you know, it's like if you go on a platform that's not sanctioned by these people who, I don't know who, see, that's the thing, man. Nobody should have power over where we go or what we do, who we talk to. And that should be left up to us. And I don't see any other group getting policed this way. And it bothers me that we're policing ourselves this way. It's like we're taking on this burden of over accountability to the point where it stifles us. And I think what it is, it's just a control mechanism. They want to control us. It's like we own the Black vote and you can't get it, and we don't need none of you Blacks stepping out of line. And that just has a callback to our history of Jim Crow and back to slavery. That, to me, that's what that is. When someone else can dictate the territory where you can roam. You got your papers? Are you on an errand for your master? Where you going? You know, that's the way I feel about it. Because Cube is a free Black man. And if a free Black man who's successful, owns multiple businesses, is an icon in the industry, if that man can't go wherever the hell he wants to go, what's that say for everybody else? A free Black man that's rich can't even go about his own business without people saying where that guy could go. I don't hear white people saying where the hell is Mel Gibson think he's going. I don't hear them saying where the hell is Michael Moore going. I don't hear them saying where the hell is Michael McConaughey going. You know, I don't see it. Where's it at? Where is it where they do the same thing for others? And who are they to dictate that? We get to make our own rules. We should be able to have the autonomy to do that. And then we can have spirited debates. We can have spirited debates. It doesn't mean we agree with his stances or his position. It means he gets to have them. He gets to have different positions than us. He gets to look at things differently. And what the hell is wrong with saying, hey, you've been voting the same way for 60 years. Is that the right way? What's wrong with that question? Why is that question the wrong question? By the way, it's the same question they want white people to ask themselves who are conservative. It's the same question white people are very happy to have other white people have to answer. But for some reason, Black people are not allowed to ask that same question of themselves. See, are we starting, are the cylinders starting to hit? Are the pedals are starting to turn? Is that dog starting to hunt? You know what I'm saying? Is it getting through to you what I'm telling you? Why is it that we're not allowed to have our own agency? We are. We are allowed to have it. But see, I believe the sellouts want to throw us under the bus to maintain their seat at the table. Yeah, they want to maintain their seat at the table. It's never an inopportune time to bring up black issues. It's never the wrong time to ask the people in power, what have you done for me lately? It's never a wrong time for the LGBTQ community to say, hey, what about this? No one goes, oh my God, this is the wrong time. No one goes to Latinos and say, hey, it's not a good time to talk about deportations. It's not a good time to talk about immigration. No one goes to Asian people and say, hey, it's not a good time to talk. George Takei, you need to shut up, George Takei, because right now is not a good time. No one gets that treatment except us. And I expect it from them, but I don't expect it, and I will not accept it from us. I feel like that's simple and plain. I feel like it makes sense. I think it's grounded in logic. And I think if people let it swirl them out in their head, absence of their need to feel like, oh my Lord, if it ain't for Joe Biden, what will happen to us? I don't know, the same thing that's been happening to us. We don't have no saviors.
Never had.
And we don't have no party. We have no saviors and we have no party and we have nobody fighting for our best interests. Who in this world, who watching this podcast believes the Democratic Party has done all it could do for any of us? This is across the board. Is there anybody in this broadcast? Put it in the comment section. Does anyone listening to the sound of my voice feel the Democratic Party has done all it can do for you? Whether you gay, straight, black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, disabled, able-bodied, whatever. Do you really feel that way? Now, unlike your group of people, whatever group you're in, some of us are in multiple groups, obviously. You don't give your votes 90% to the Democratic Party, do you? Do you? What's wrong with this picture? Any thinking person would be like, why the hell? If 90% of white people voted Republican, people would be like, what the hell is wrong with them? I'm telling you, we know why. Because the prevalence of racial discrimination was so thick. After the switch that took place around the time of Lyndon B. Johnson, where the Southern strategy was employed, when they decided, hey, you know what? We don't want to go with this civil rights thing, and it was the Southern states that decided they wanted to, that they were going to go conservative, and they were going to form Voltron behind the Republican Party, and the Democrats, they went their way, the more northern Democrats. When the Dixiecrats became Republicans, F what you heard, F all the explanations is very simple. There were some of us in certain parts of the country, regardless to a political party, who were against integration and they're against the civil rights movement. But the bottom line was that's when it switched. So since then, man, since 1970, we've been on lock. And it's very understandable that being on lock like that would lessen your ability to be able to negotiate. If there's no chance of you leaving, then why would you be a priority if you're just gonna be sitting there when I get back? How are you a priority if you can get treated any old type of way and no one's got to worry about you ever budging? Because you fear that there's worse for you out the door. And all I'm telling you is we have experienced the worst of the worst. We have been under that, living that experience this whole time. So, it's not that I support every word that came out of Ice Cube's mouth. I support free black people. Free black men and women, able to voice their opinions and able to go wherever they want to go, and then having the guts to stand behind and stand on it. Stand 10 toes down on whatever shit you said on that platform, and now we can have that conversation. Now, I would love to talk to Cube about, hey, dog, What's this idea like the cops, you think the cops just trying to get home? Nah, the cops that killed Tyree Nichols weren't just trying to get home safely, John. O'Shea. The cops that blew up, that shot up Breonna Taylor's home, they weren't just trying to get home safely. They fired like 70 shots into that apartment. That's more than just trying to get home safely, Johnson. The cops that broke Freddie Gray's spine, they weren't just trying to get home. See, we can have these conversations, and I love, and we can move the conversation past what a free person can do, what a free person's allowed to do, based on the rule book, the Democratic Bible of 1 Clinton, verse 16, chapter whatever the hell, chapter 2, verse 16. Like, if we can get past that, then we can start getting to specifics that I can do some pushback on, do some educating of my brother out of love. But we can't even get to that because we still had a conversation over what you allowed to do. Eyes all bugging and shit. What's he doing over there? He can't be over there because we know there's only racist people in the world of Tucker Carlson and Fox News. Ain't no racists in the Democratic Party. They're good to us. They feeds us and only beats us on Wednesdays. Y'all got the wrong guy if you think I'm going to go along with that shit. That's not going to happen, Mrs. Black. I'm sorry. I know I'm on one, but they deserve it.
Yeah, I hear you.
What they talking about in the comment section? Am I tripping or what?
Let's see here.
You only got 2 people watching. I know how it is.
Urban Media Showcase, how does going to Tucker benefit the Black community? Woman Queen, when children were outside selling water with a rainbow umbrella. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know what that is.
Please help us, Father God. Why do we even talk to people that's not even Black? Goodness. Buck Bewley, was a response, said, Woman Queen, Tim has an old white guy as a mod I have been following since he was Tim the bartender. Woman Queen, I'm not even going to watch that BS. We need some alpha males. Is not scared to talk about some real demands. Stop playing. See that dumbass interview playing with.
Okay.
Okay. Tim, we love you. You teddy bear. That's public domain. So, the comments are various.
But you know, like I'm going to address that first one when someone said, shout out to you and your network that you're trying to grow, obviously. Next time when you want to share your network, why don't you super chat us? That'd be nice. Since we playing fair, Here's the thing. How does Cube going on Tucker benefit the Black community? Who said it did? I think it benefits Ice Cube. How did it benefit Bill Maher? How does it benefit him going on CNN? How does D.L. Hughley going on CNN benefit us? How the hell does any celebrity going on any platform? I don't think it's supposed to. Now, if there is some truth spoken, regardless to where you go, I guess that helps. But in the long run, it's media. It's media. If it's informative, if the content of whatever you're discussing is informative, I think it's beneficial to whoever's listening. I don't think it materializes into money for you. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get you a reparations check, but I feel that any conversation that's beneficial and informative is beneficial to Black people. There you go. I think it's informative if you find it useful. Now, if you don't find it useful, then you don't have to watch. Sort of like this show. If you don't find this show useful for you, then I understand not watching. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion of that. But it's not, I think that's the wrong attitude to have, that how does Cube going on here benefit me? That doesn't make sense. Who says it was, And why is that the criteria that must be served for a black person to go on a platform to discuss issues that they're not giving an opportunity to discuss on other platforms or whatever? Like, is it supposed to? I went on Ish Talk TV. Shout out to Ish Talk TV, aspiring channel here in the DMV. I don't think it benefited black people that I went on that channel. I think it may have benefited Ish Talk TV, and it benefited me to have a conversation with that young brother. But does it benefit black people in general that Tim Black went on that network? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's a big tall order to ask. No one says, how does it benefit Jon Stewart to go on, I don't know, The Root? I don't know, man. It seems like a big order, a tall order to ask for a person to do. And if that's the case, no one gets to go anywhere. If you say, I don't agree with his politics, fine. You ain't got to. Once again, my only issue is whether it be Dr. Umar, whether it be Tariq Nasheed, whether it be Yvette Carnell, whether it be Irami, whether it be Tim Black, whether it be the Black Authority, whether it be anybody who speaks on behalf of black people, when you get to that platform, if you speak truth to power, that benefits black people in some way. Will it get a check cut? I don't know, Johnson, but I feel like that benefits us. Obviously, there are people that disagree with that. I have no problems with you disagreeing with it. I'm not here to convince you that that's, because, we all got our opinions. But yeah, that's where I come up on it. And that's enough on that. What was the other one? The other one was, won't we start being radical and stop being something? Black men not being strong. I don't know.
Oh, the alpha male.
Yeah, we're not being alpha males. You don't think it's alpha male? No, first of all, let's be clear, man. So you know, because you may not know. If you're in the media business in America, if you're in the media business talk about politics and you are black and you are a man and you are bucking the system against liberal media, corporate media anyway, that's alpha shit, okay? You may not know that because you're not in this business. I don't know what you do for a living. You do something, I'm sure. Whatever that is, you're probably aware of the nuances of that industry because that's your industry. I've been in this industry for 10 years. I can tell you with total certainty, any black man that goes against the Bidens or the Clintons and the Obamas and has the guts to talk about that with the benefit of black people in the forefront of their minds, that's an alpha. You are risking your career. You're risking your business. You're risking your safety. You're risking a lot of shit to do that. There's a reason why some people don't show their identity. It's backlash. You don't get death threats going along with the Democrats. You don't get exposed to the same level of critique. Now, some people overcorrect, bruh, or sister, I don't know who it is. Some people overcorrect and they become Republicans. That's a whole different thing. I'm talking about people who do not go join up with Donald Trump, who do not then become Sean Hannity's puppet, who do not then become Candace Owens, who do not then become Officer Tatum, Anthony B.L., whatever. They do not become Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm saying the people that say, hey, I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to not join neither one of these sides, and I'm just going to ride for black people, and I'm going to call shit out, and I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to fight for my people, and I'm going to take less money. I'm going to lose opportunities. I'm not going to be able to buy a bigger house, a bigger car, shop at better places because I have decided what's most important. It's not that. You don't think that is alpha male shit? It's always easy for people who are not in the arena to talk about what people in the arena should be doing. but they themselves are not doing it. They themselves are not doing it. And it always looks easy until you try to do it. When you are given opportunities and then those opportunities go away because of what you say on this mic and what you put your likeness out there, then we can have these conversations. I want people to know there was something to lose. People have dreams. They have ambitions. I get it, man. They got dreams. They things they want to do. You do not understand how politics works. You do not understand how those things affect people's lives. Or maybe you do. Maybe I'm assuming you don't when you do. Maybe you totally get it. In my experience, most people have no idea. They don't get it. They can't relate to it. And I'm not saying that's Tucker. I'm not saying that that's Ice Cube's situation. I'm speaking beyond Ice Cube. But is there anybody that can deny if Ice Cube would have got the jab and shut his mouth, things wouldn't be much better for him? Is there anybody who's going to deny that if Ice Cube would have shut his ass up, got the jab, and never put out the contract with Black America, that things wouldn't be better for him right now? He'd definitely be at least $10 million happier. Okay? That's bare minimum. Do you know once you become blacklisted to the liberals, how Hollywood opportunities will dry up? Now, you may say he did that for nothing and he's corny. That's because you never lost $10 million. Neither have I. But I got a feeling if I lost $10 million, it had to be a dang good reason why I lost $10 million. And I don't think it's just me so I can go on the Tucker Carlson show for free. I don't even know if Tucker pays. Or to see in the future that I'm going to be able to go on the Tucker Carlson show. Like, I don't think that was the goal. I think that's a mitigating factor. I think once you make certain moves, the board is a certain way, you know? And now your moves are different that you can make. You know, once you playing checkers, or if you're playing cards, certain cards have been played in the deck, you can't go get those cards out the deck. The cards that have been thrown, that's it. So you got to play with what you got left. And I think it's a part of that. It's the reality of what Ice Cube has done. It's the reality of what I have to do. It's the reality of what anyone has to do. Any of us. You know, if you miss your shot, or if you take a bad shot, it is what it is on the clock. Your account looks like what it looks like. But once people decide this person is a problem, this person's speaking out of school, this person's going against our agenda, once they make that decision that that's who you are, hell, man, Cynthia McKinney had to leave the country because she was against a war that we later found out was an illegal war. She still can't live in America. She didn't break any laws. She was just against a war that we should have never been in. You know how I know we shouldn't have been in it? Because the people that started that war can't leave the country either. George W. Bush. Because he's considered a war criminal. So if the war that we were in was legal, why is it that he can't leave America and travel abroad? It's because him and Dick Cheney would be locked up for the illegal war that Cynthia McKinney and others tried to say was illegal, who basically lost her position in Congress and now it did have to flee the country. See, there are prices to pay for speaking out of turn. And I'm not saying that that's what Ice Cube is doing. We just got into a broader conversation. I think Ice Cube has a very good life. He has a very good life. He's doing very well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying he's a pariah and all this shit. All I'm saying is you can go wherever you want to go. I went to Politicon and I gave Tommy Lauren the business. You may not have heard about it because I don't have the protection for the complexion for the selection or whatever. But I did go and give her the business.
That you did.
That I did. My life didn't change for it, but I did the right thing. Did opportunities go away because she's at certain places, we're able to talk to certain people and say, hey, that guy called me out live in front of all these people and it's all over the internet. But I called her out for her comments about Black Lives Matter that I thought were wrong, that she was fueling the fire, that she was making Colin Kaepernick this person like he started World War III because he took a knee at a football game. And I was there with Kyle Kalinske, who everyone loves, the whole progressive movement loves this guy. He didn't say it. He let her sit there and not address it. He allowed her to sit on that stage and talk about Black Lives Matter and did hold her accountable for her statements. But I did, but at the end of the day, all people talked about was Kyle Kalinske. He's the one who got breaking points, and he's the one with 3 million subscribers. So it ain't about what you get. It's about what you do with the time, and it's not about where you go. It's about what you do when you get there. And it doesn't mean people are going to respect you. It doesn't even mean people are going to hear about it. But anyway, okay.
At least they knew the truth.
They knew, I guess they knew the truth. I wish the truth was more valuable. It doesn't seem to be that valuable. There are people right now who never even heard this story. They didn't even hear it. But once upon a time, Tommy Loren was Candace Owens. She was way bigger than Candace Owens. Once upon a time. And I tore her ass up. Figuratively, because I know there are people that don't understand that language who will say it was a type of aggressive attack, like I'm threatening her, because they don't understand roasting and they don't understand black vernacular. Luckily, my audience has changed somewhat so people get it. But I let her ass have it verbally. I let her ass have it, and she deserved it.
And others.
And others. But I had to hold her accountable for that Colin Kaepernick bullshit. Whether you think he's a good football player or not, taking a knee at a football game does not equal terrorism. And Black Lives Matter was not a terror organization. They may be a lot of things, misappropriated funds, operatives of the Democratic Party, people with double agendas and all those good things that most people don't want to hear about. But at the end of the day, they are not terrorists who tried to burn down the country. They did not invade the Capitol on January 6th. And they did not put anthrax in the mail. Like, come on, Johnson. Come on, man. Come on. All right. Should we move on?
Yes.
Have I gone on long enough?
You did a great job. Excellent points.
What else I got on the agenda?
Okay, our next topic is DeSantis, Florida Board of Education Black History.
Oh, okay.
Entry.
Ooh, I like this one. Oh, first of all, give it up for all the people that who thought that Ron DeSantis was wrong with his Florida Board of Education folks with their Black History entry. Give it up for all those people out there. I appreciate y'all. I think it was wrong too. I think it was a bad choice. Now we know what we're talking about. That one entry. Now look, people keep pointing out there's a 216-page document. Folks, if you want to see the totality of the curriculum that was described, that was formulated by the work group that was initiated in Florida there for the history, you can go download it. It's a downloadable document. I have the document. It's not, I keep hearing people talk like, oh my God, no one read the document. I have it. I skimmed over that 216 pages. It's just saying, talk about this, or talk about that, and talk about this. It's when you get to one of the talking points that's effed up, is when people got a problem. Okay? It is the most egregious. The text in that entry, I get what people are trying to say. They're trying to say, Tim Black, that's not what they meant. Ron DeSantis is really a good guy. He meant something different. Okay? First of all, Ron DeSantis is the reason why those people were in that room putting together that curricula, because that Stop Woke Act opened the door for them to create more stringent rules about what could be in textbooks and what could be taught, what could be the syllabus. So, though he likes to hide behind, hey, I didn't write it. I did not write this template. I did not know. It's the Board of Education did it. Their work group did it. Yeah, but you are the reason why they did it. You. And you Republican Florida people. So anyway. So we can look at this different ways. I believe that the context in which that statement has been amplified in such a way to serve the Democrats. But I also believe it was a horrible statement to make. And I don't care if you were black, white, mixed, Asian, Native, whatever. I think it was a horrible sentiment to put out into the air without having proper context in the language. Because when you say there were some slaves who benefited from slavery, that's it. Who the hell else is interpreting it to mean all these other things except what you just said? And if you say, well, I want to show the resilience of the enslaved people, the formerly enslaved, to make lemonade out of lemons, why come you couldn't say that? That's different than saying we benefited. That gives people the impression that if it weren't for slavery, we didn't already know how to garden. We didn't already know how to tend crops. We didn't already know how to work with lead or steel or whatever the hell, blacksmith. Like, as if we didn't already have skills. So, to me, it's a fallacy for Ron DeSantis with his failing campaign to try to hide behind it's just politics. Nah, man, your people put together a shit template for U.S. history, particularly that section that is outlined. You could have just simply said, hey, I disagree with that one point. I wish they would have worded it differently. But you don't want to be wrong about anything because you're trying to imitate Trump. Ron DeSantis is trying to be Trump. He's trying his best to be Trump, and Trump's rule is never apologize. That doesn't work for you, Ron. Sorry, it's not working for you. You haven't built up the credibility with this audience. That he has built up a certain cachet with his audience that Ron DeSantis has not done. It doesn't mean I like Trump. I'm just telling you the reason why you're getting crucified. And there's not that many people going to ride with you because it sounds bogus as hell on its face. To go down in the weeds and say, well, that's not really what they meant, and there's a black guy and a black woman or a part of the group that came up with the language, don't matter to us. There have been black turncoats our entire history. Black people have had the benefit, or I should say, the unbenefit, the disbenefit of having black sellouts in our midst our entire existence in this country. That's nothing new. You can't say, oh, it was a black person there. Yeah, there were 5 black cops that killed. Gosh, I said his name earlier. Now I'm blanking on his name. Tyree Nichols. 5 black cops beat Tyree Nichols. So you're going to tell me, well, they're black though, so it's still murder, So part of the argument that the Republicans or the conservatives are making is that they believe since there was a black man, an old black man, about 85 years old on that board, Mr. William Allen, who speaks so well that he co-signed this language, that somehow that makes it okay. That means I'm supposed to like it. I'm supposed to say it can't possibly be racist because no black person has ever sided with white people in some shit that made us look horrible. Okay, we can't. That's totally unimaginable. Unimaginable that a black man could possibly be going along. Oh, God, there we go, Clarence Thomas. Oh, my God, there we go, Jesse Lee Peterson. Oh, my God, oh, my God. But there's a black woman, too. Oh, my God, there goes Candace Owens. So what's the difference? Condoleezza Rice threw black people under the bus. She was black. You know, black people are capable of being conservative. And that's another thing. Folks, we got to get out of this shit where we don't think any black people are conservative. There's some black conservatives. Those black folks are on that board. They help write this, first of all, who volunteered with no money to be a part of the group that put together that syllabus. Those are all conservative whites and blacks. So what they differ in skin tone, they make up for in ideology. There are no liberals on that board or a part of that work group. So they may be black, but they have conservative values, and that's what they ride for. So even if I don't want to be critical and call them sellouts and coons, we'll say their ideology is that of the average Archie Bunker-esque conservative who actually believes, they come from the Booker T side of the house, where they actually believe that black people go on some level of, that it's somehow a positive to say we survived and we used what we learned to do. And I get it. That's their way of, I think it's a horrible way to frame it. It's a horrible way to teach history. It's like saying, oh, this woman was taken advantage of, but she learned how to dance. This child was trafficked, but they learned how to cook while being trafficked. And no, we focusing on the traffic part. Dumb. Right. We don't go, oh, this person was abused, but they learned how to be tough. No. It's in spite of. In spite of. Who the hell? Why am I yelling? You get it, right? You get it. You understand. So that's the reason why people are upset about this. If Ron DeSantis Board of Education hadn't done that, I wouldn't be talking about it. It's not like I looked for it. It's not like I made it happen. You put that entry in there. It did not need to be there. And if Ron DeSantis would have removed it or requested the removal because those people work for him, it's his Board of Education, then we would not have this conversation. That it's possible some of the Republicans that are contenders in the race for the nomination of the Republican Party may have had a different tune, and maybe they would be using that against him, but I think that's a far better battle for him to be trying to win than the one that he's currently losing, which is, ain't nothing wrong with this. What's wrong? I always look like this. What's wrong with my face? We can see you. That's why we know it's wrong. And we can read. That's why we say it's wrong. It doesn't mean I support Kamala Harris. See, we got to get out of this. We got to get out of this idea, well, if you agree or disagree with a person, that you line up with them politically. That all things that they've ever done or said, you are now adopting their ideology. No, on this particular thing, he's wrong, and I'm calling him out on it. If there's something tomorrow, I will weigh that on its own merits, but I also will look at the context of what he's done previously. That's why I say, hearkening back to the Cube thing with Tucker, I'm looking at the interview with Tucker and saying, okay, I'm going to judge this in the context of that interview. I do understand that Tucker, that I know, I have that in the back of my head, but I'm going to judge this interview based on what transpires in this interview. It does not mean going forward, I automatically go, great Tucker. It does not mean going forward, I go, everything out of Ron DeSantis' mouth is garbage, though it has been a lot of it. I know some of that is the formula and the narrative of the Democratic Party. I get that. But that does not mean he's not wrong about this. How would you like it? I'm not even going to entertain, I'm not even going to say the things. Because to me, it would be so disrespectful to use the pain of Jewish people and Native American people in order to make my point. But visualize in your mind the things you can say about the Jewish people. And then you can say, but you benefited. And why don't we have that in history books? Think about the things you can say about Native Americans. But you benefited. Why is that not in history books? Because we don't got a bunch of backward-ass, conservative whatevers on those boards, writing those books, and they don't reside in the state that did the Stop Woke Act. Mrs. Black, I understand that you have your own point of view on this.
I do. So
Please, could you share it?
Okay. Well, Governor DeSantis, I'd like you and your Board of Education to explain the benefits of slavery. What were the benefits on a race of people who were considered subhuman? Someone's property comparable to a table, a spoon, a bowl, a cup, a chair. The benefits of being kept illiterate. The benefits of a mother being torn from her children and families being separated and sold on the auction block because the missus wanted a fancy new shiny trinket. The benefits of being maimed, mutilated, branded, horsewhipped, lynched, drowned, castrated, aborted acts of violence, rape, and experimentation, starvation, who were bred as animals, snatched from our homeland, the inhumane treatment that robbed generations of our freedom, our culture, our language, our history, forever losing our birthrights and sense of identity. As our ancestors were chained and shuffled through the door of no return. The benefits of having no rights in a country which saw us as subhuman and comparable to a table, a spoon, a bowl, a cup, a chair, to petition against this United States government, which prides itself on liberty and justice, yet sanctioned and perpetrated atrocity upon atrocity upon atrocity against the enslaved Black American. Governor DeSantis, do you know what the true benefits of slavery should be? It should have been the 40 acres and a mule due to my newly freed ancestors. However, in present day, reparations payments made to the descendants of the enslaved Black Americans on whose backs the greatest country in this world was manifested should be taken seriously by the United States government. It was a wrong that must be corrected. And until it is, this nation will continue to be a clown face facade of equality, liberty, and justice it so desperately attempts to proclaim. If reparations can be done for other groups whose ancestors suffered unspeakable horrors and crimes against humanity, it can be done for Black Americans as well. The benefits of slavery should endow the descendants of enslaved Black Americans the financial resources to transfer generational wealth to our descendants and close the racial wealth gap once and for all. Sorry, I'm not sorry. We descendants of enslaved Black Americans kidnapped from our homeland and brought to this country specifically to perform free labor will never be forgotten. Our history in this country, and it will never be whitewashed, regardless of the insane, baseless argument of how even a discussion about our true history is considered divisive and offensive to those whose ancestors perpetrated hate, bigotry, and division in this nation. Bottom line, there is no way to logically justify and honey dip one of the greatest atrocities against an entire race of people in this human history. So DeSantis, you and your Board of Education can take your benefits of slavery BS lie back to the pit of hell where you found it. I said what I said.
Oh, shit. Mrs. Black, Mrs. Black, Mrs. Black. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Baby, baby, baby. That's going to leave a mark. Wow. Wow. Mrs. Black, well done. Well said. Shit. Go ahead and shut down the show, man. I don't think I want to go after that on any topics. Give it up for that one more time, y'all. Give it up for that. That's Mrs. Black. That's my wife right there. There you go. I think I made good choices. Made a good choice. Note to self, she didn't curse one time, Tim Black. Didn't have to. The truth sells itself, Johnson.
I'd like to give a shout out to Corey Tidwell. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you.
Wow, there it is. Whew.
Thank you, Arlene. Mic drop. That's how I truly feel. That's what I truly believe. This is just crazy to me that this made it out of our Board of Education to whitewash our history.
Yep.
It hurts. It's infuriating that folks in the 21st century think that way. Just so feelings aren't hurt. The truth needs to be told. We need to get past these feelings. Let's talk about it. Just talk about it. We can't just lie about true history here.
No, it's just Black Americans have such a unique claim, a very distinct claim from all these other groups that they're afraid of the claim that Black Americans have, the Black descendants of the enslaved actually have. It's a bona fide claim. It's something unique that other groups do not have, and it's always going to be a problem. And I tell you, it's never. America needs to address it so we can move on. And until they address it, it's going to hang over the heads of this country.
Right.
It just will.
Right.
It just will.
There are steps, right? I mean, there are steps in when you go to what is it? Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
Or anytime you're going through an addiction and you're trying to get help, or you're grieving and you need some type of support, there are steps that need to be taken in order for you to get to a point where you can live with yourself, the guilt is gone, and you can move on with your life. There's a scar in this country, in this nation. You know, we haven't finished the steps. Yep. We have not finished the steps. And until we get to whatever step that is, where we're free of this guilt and we can move on, and there is a legitimate apology or whatever that step is, we're going to continue to be in this. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And part of that step is having honest conversations and being truthful, real, and not biting your tongue about it. Right. And I think that's the duty that we have, to speak honestly about these things. Wow. You know, we got one more part, but I guess we could say that for our extra innings. The conversation about Just Hilarious.
Okay.
So, folks, part of putting together this content is we try to do something special for the people that support the show, the people that make it possible for us to do the show, the Tim Black Wolfpack, the Patreon supporters, the people that support on YouTube as well, the Wolfpack members there, Team Black. So we do what's called extra innings, where Mrs. Black and I go off on another topic. We talk for as long as the conversation makes sense about something else that we don't talk about on the show, or we continue a conversation. So that's what we're doing. So extra innings, I release that tomorrow. You will get the first peek at that, and then later on in the week, I will release it to the general public. So for your eyes only, extra innings will be coming up next. So after this show, we're going to stop the live stream, then we're going to record extra innings, and then I'm going to upload that to the internet. Become a member of the Tim Black Show so you get a copy of extra innings. On Patreon, you'll get a link to our extra innings content. If you're on YouTube, if you're a member of the Tim Black group, the paid group of $5 or more, you also get a copy of it, or you get access to it. It's a way to support the show, and it's a way for us to give you something tangible that makes sense. Also, I'd like to point out that I'm going to be bringing some other shows, adding some other shows to the lineup. I got to come live more than just once a week. Got to do a live show more than once a week. So there's a couple things I have envisioned. One is a long form show. We'll have an interview with someone for a long, I want to go 2 hours. I want a long form, real conversation. So we're going to have that format. And due to great demand, and popular demand, great demand, going to be bringing back phone calls. The only caveat to bringing back the phone calls is I have to put together a system in order to screen phone calls. So previously, it got out of hand, and I just know going forward, that's something I got to have. Got to have the ability to screen phone calls. So as I hunt down a system where I would know who's coming on the line before they come on the line, until I can do that, that's the only holdup. That's the only holdup. So if you got any ideas, suggestions on how we can get that accomplished, I know there's various systems out there. Maybe the technology's changed. I'm not going to say I'm up on everything new in the technology space, but there's got to be a way for a brother to know who's coming on the line so that repeat callers can be like, so I know who's calling, that type of thing. That's it. That's really all I got. I want to take this time to really thank Mrs. Black for bringing the heat during this show tonight. It was amazing. I knew she said she had something special prepared. I knew what topic it was, but I didn't read it because I wanted to be surprised. And I am surprised, Mrs. Black.
Well, it was on my heart. It was really on my heart since we had the conversation last. It's, who would do this except someone who, and we've never, of course, been in the enslaved shoes. But can you imagine all the stories, the history, and have no compassion? I mean, to the point where we want to, because it makes others feel bad, we just want to whitewash it away. That this cannot be real. That it can't be real. This makes no sense. So, I had to say something.
Well, you made me proud. You made us proud tonight, so I appreciate you for doing that.
And again, just because I love my people doesn't mean I don't love everyone. I don't love other races. We are all human beings, all a part of the human race. So we need to think of each other, be kind to one another. And I think that's the only way that we can even make this world a better place. But where there's hate and bigotry and racism, it just tears us apart. It tears us all apart.
All right, folks, that's it. That's all we got. We'll see you next week, the same time, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here for Tim Black's Black Table. Nothing but love for y'all. Thank y'all.